Hi, my name is Jørn. I'm a business angel and I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my first company when I was 16 and I've started a dozen companies or more. And I've been a business angel in 60 cases. So I helped a bunch of people start their own companies. I've done all the mistakes possible together with them and hopefully learned a bit. Now, I'm also the founder of Business Angels Norway, the Business Angel Association in Norway, encompassing some 700 business angels, 700 something, working on policy, information, and stimulating business angel investments. And we train people, normal people, to be business angels. That's what Business Angels Norway is. What is Business Angels Norway? It's an association, a club for business angels or wannabe business angels in Norway. Or outside of Norway that want to be part of our network. Also fine. We're dealing with investing together as a group, or some of us, or hinting each other, showing each other, that are good cases. We evaluate together, we find together, we evaluate together, and we invest together. Or we just spread around the word about the good cases and some of us invest. Now, what is a network? How does it work? And what is it like to run it? Well, it's basically like any club. I get in, 10 or 20 or 50 or 700 business angels or buddies, and we do something together. In this case, we do that. We find cases, we evaluate, and we invest and follow up. But how do we actually build such a network? Well, first we need to sit down together and say, well, some of us want to create this thing. Why? Well, because we want to ourselves. I want to invest my money. I want to make such a network. So suddenly we're then 10. And then we join with some other people and we join with some other groups. In Norway, we have now a dozen groups that total 700 members in total. Now these groups are quite different. And that's okay. But it is all the time private individuals that put in their own money into some sort of investment object, typically an early stage startup. That's what Business Angels Norway is. And to run it, well, my Canadian colleague, Secretary General over there, he was saying, this is like the hardest job you can do on the planet. So it's like herding sheep, because the business angels, well, they don't know they're business angels. And they don't need to spend money on early stage startups. So they have no need for this. And that's some of the problem here. Problem? Well, it's a challenge. So this is by definition something we do as much as we like it, because we care about startups, and maybe because we might want to 10 double or 100 double our money. That's also in there. So it's a special group, it's a special thing, no question about it. Most difficult job on the planet was his words. There we are. Now, Nordic Angel Program is an angel training program. For 2 years, 2018, 2019, it was funded by the European Commission. Norway, Finland, Estonia, and Denmark, training business angels in those 4 countries and training together across the borders. What is it? Well, it's training. What we actually did when we ran it here in Norway was we invited any startup that wanted to meet business angels. Now that's easy because there are 150 applied each time, or 200 or some good number, that want angel money. Plenty of startup want angel money. Now, what do you do with that? Then comes the more difficult thing, saying to business angels or normal people that have a little bit extra money, saying that, why don't you look at investing into startups? And they say, well, why should I do that? And then that's one discussion. But some of these decide that, okay, we will look at investing together. So gather 20 people in one room and say, now we will meet startups. We will evaluate them and we will select, and we will in the end invest together. Now, we've done this in 4 runs now, 4 rounds. Each round has a bit different number of sessions, length of sessions, time of day, but basically we found out that afternoons after work, get together on your way home, sit there for an hour, learn something, share something, then meet the startups, then grill them with questions and then evaluate together afterwards. And among the 20, turned out to 10 startups, turned out to 5, and then the top 3 that got investments. Now, Nordic Angel Program Norway, what did we actually achieve in these 4 programs of 2018 and 2019? Well, 223 business angels were turned into business angels. Normal people, most of them had never invested in startups before. 223 people were actually getting training, 1 or more or several sessions. Some followed all 4 programs. Some were only taking part in some sessions. Now, 223 investors, we had 400 startups were selected to be involved in the program in one way, shape or form. That's quite a lot. And we in total brought in 1.5 million euros spread over 18 startups. Now, 223 investors, 400 startups, 1.5 million euros into 18 startups. Those are the hard facts that came out of 4 batches, 4 cohorts of angel training in Norway. Nordic level, well, there were 400 investors, 1,800 startups, and 3.2 million euros across the 4 countries, across 4 batches, 4 cohorts. So I'm actually really happy and proud. Well, one thing is that Norway had the most investors. We had more than half of all, 223 of the 400. That made me happy because we have a focus on normal people investing in startups. Not, experienced angels or big investors putting in big money, but we want a lot of normal people to look at this. Try it. That's our point. Now, Nordic Angel Program for you. What we're now doing is we're saying we can help groups that want to do our angel training in different forms to do that. Many ways that can be done, but we're happy to put it together and happy to be part of running it. And that's the opportunity that Nordic Angel Program can give to you. It doesn't have to be Nordic. You don't have to be an established angel. It doesn't have to be much of a program. But let's look at how can normal people learn to invest in startups. That's the idea. Question is, what is the power of a business angel network? Well, then it's just like any other network in our society. What's the power of being a network, of being more than one? Well, as a business angel, for example, it is the idea to have more deal flow. If we're 5 or 15 working something together, in a loose network, well then each of us will find more deal flow, more new cases to invest in and share with the others. Normally, at least in the early stage, angel job, it's about finding the right ones to invest in. That's the more important. So you need to have 100 to select the right 5. If you work alone, maybe you only find 10 and you don't find the right 5. You find one of them and you wasted your money on something else. So deal flow, obvious power of the network. Also you have the follow-on of that one is then you can spread your investment on more. If you have $100,000, if you put in 20 in 5 different ones, $20,000 in 5 instead of 100,000 in 1, well then you have a bigger chance that one of them will do it well. Now you may think that you are the very best to spot the right one and you put all your money in, all your $100,000 in the one. But reality is that all experience shows that it is hard to predict the future and it's hard to predict which one is going to be the best. Therefore, to spread your risk, spread your investment is very often good. But it has to correlate with how much time you spend in due diligence and how much you spend getting to know in cases. That's a bit of a question of what's your risk tolerance, and it's a bit of about how much time, how much is your deal flow, how good are you at picking the right ones. The ones I have chosen is to have smaller money into a number, simply because I'm not good enough. For example, I'm not good enough at picking startups like Rappi. I was invited to invest in Rappi very quickly, very early, as the second wave of business angels. And I said no. So I'm stupid. I could have invested. It's worth billions now. I didn't invest. I didn't believe in it. It was a conscious choice. I was wrong. Even though I have a bit of experience. So deal flow, that's the power of network number one, deal flow and spread, being able to spread over several. The other one is evaluation. Like in our Nordic Angel program, in our angel training program, then we're a bunch of 10, 15, 20 business angels that are evaluating cases together, following a certain dynamic, a certain pattern, and we look at how these cases are doing, which ones should we basically discuss which one should we invest in. And we know it's my money on the line, so it matters that I take part in the selection and I share the best I can with the rest of the group. And that's what is the point of the learning. Well, then you learn more. So if we're 10 around the table and we know that we will invest at least something in what we choose together, then each of us must try to bring to the table the best we can. So I'm a social scientist, or I'm a business administration guy, or I'm an engineer. Well, we need to pair those brains together. That's the whole point. Power of the network, very clear in evaluation. Sitting around in the Nordic Angel program some months back, I was sitting with 2 investment bankers, or ex-investment bankers, 2 ex-CEOs of big companies, me, and some youngsters. And we had so different perspectives. And one of the investment bankers was saying, I feel like the stupidest guy in this game. I am learning new stuff here all the time. And he was clearly super accomplished, super talented, and with a ton of experience. But as he said, investment banking is so different from evaluating an early stage tech company. So all those experiences around the table, including the youngsters, social media natives, unlike me, this was very, very interesting. So to find a group that you can evaluate startups with, a little bit systematic over time, fantastic way to learn. One of the seniors call it their MBA program. Short version of an MBA in the hottest topic of it all, tech and in early stage investing. Fantastic fun. Now, power of the network. Well, what does a business angel do? I would say after deal flow and evaluation, the third one is network or connections. So when I invest, if I invest $10,000 in a startup, my job is I want to help them as much as I can, as quickly as I can. So I essentially bring up my Rolodex, my phone, and 8,000 contacts, which ones do I give them? That's the question. Who can I connect them to that is going to speed up this startup as much as possible, as soon as possible? So if I do it on my own, well, then I have 8,000 contacts to choose from, except that I'm only, actively in touch with, 1,000 or 2,000, but I have a certain subset of people that can help something. But if we're 20 people around a table, each of us have 8,000 or 5,000 or 2,000 contacts. And the power is, much larger. So deal flow, evaluation, connections, 3 very clear power of the network, of being in a business angel network. And the fourth one, in my eyes, is the giving or passing on. For me, it is an honor to pass on my knowledge to somebody that appreciates that knowledge.